Everybody here is.
100%.
So therefore, why am I the only person in the courtroom right now if I'm Puffy?
Yeah.
And you're talking about a RICO. You're talking about sex trafficking crimes. Why am I the only person sitting here?
And it's a RICO. I would say that part is a little weird.
Right. How you gonna hit me with a RICO and I'm by myself?
Yeah.
Racketeering is operation. So therefore, it's like
correct.
I agree, but I think they're gonna. That this is my hope. I think that they're gonna do it in sessions, and then they're gonna start hopefully calling in people.
This is what I'm thinking.
One of the two.
He's either gonna walk.
He's gonna
one or two. Either that he's either gonna walk. Yep. Gone, or there will be a situation where there is a big revelation that's dropped on us.
Exactly.
That revelation is going to include a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
and so therefore it won't just be him. So it'll be a whole lot of people getting rounded up.
It's like governance.
Oh, it's a whole,
all kinds of things.
And that's why I almost think it's too big to fail.
You know what you're really good at.
Right. I agree.
So sorry, you said
$200K for the year.
$200K for the year
for the base for everybody. That's not a bad idea.
I mean, your entrepreneur is a little different. I'm saying in general.
No, that's good money.
Yeah, it's good money.
But
that's good.
You can do everything you need to do.
Who's gonna say no to that?
Well, I don't think anybody should.
Nope.
Shit. They can pass to me. You're too proud for that. Give it to me.
Yeah, give me your money.
Hey, please.
They'd be like, y'all call that money? I was like, oh, well, give it to me.
Yeah. It's a bunch of crap. It's just pennies.
Yeah.
Just put it on my account.
Yeah, give it to me.
Fact, give it all.
I'll take it.
Trying to tell you. All right. It's your boy Jay.
I'm Astrid.
I'm Ashley Booker.
And this is Musing Around, the show where we just jump on and muse, talk about whatever subject we want to talk about. Today we have a good show. Lots of interesting topics going on right now in the world. Man, I have so many good things to talk about for us to muse on, just discuss, unpack a little bit. Where should we start? I'm like a kid in the candy store.
I mean, it's literally like that this week. Yeah, we can go there.
It's been a hell of a week.
It has.
Let's start at the top. Let's start. Let's start with Mr. Love, Mr. Diddy. It's been
the trial is going, right? So.
Yeah, the trial's going on. So for those of you who's probably watching it, of course, trial's going on for Diddy, Puffy, Mr. Love. His trial is going on for his RICO case involving trafficking people across state lines, for sexual acts, exploitation, and coercion as well too. And it's been very informative in terms of what's been coming out the courtroom, of a look into the lifestyle, right, that some of us has probably perceived from the outside looking in. So it's been interesting seeing how some of this stuff plays out.
What came out this week?
Ash is looking like.
Did you know what came out this week?
Yeah.
I heard a little bit. It was something about like.
Tell me.
Is it like was it the girlfriend? Was it his wife?
Well,
it was his wife, right?
No, it's his long-term girlfriend. Like a girl that he was with for a
long time, right?
Yeah, for over 10 years. Yes.
Long time, yeah. Definitely.
And what came out of that? What happened? I know it was like a stripper involved or whatever.
Well, okay. We have this week. First, I want to reiterate the fact that on a previous episode, I told my counterparts that Puffy is a disgusting person, but if it really gets to the charges that he is being charged upon, it's more than him, meaning that he will.
It's an operation.
Well, yeah, it'll sink the whole entertainment business.
Absolutely.
So I believe right now that we're seeing. Yeah, we're seeing character destroyed, but I'm not seeing anything that's going to put him in jail forever. I see a person who has weird sex fetishes and has creepy. Yeah, he's abusive, but that's state. Abusive. That's a state case. Let's just be.
It is
a state. That's real. Not a federal crime.
I don't disagree. Right. That's correct.
That's a state case. So he isn't. He has an anger problem. His legal team, I think, they started out blazing in the fact that they acknowledged it all. Yeah, the guy's abusive and he has weird sexual habits.
I mean, I can't wait into the whole thing comes out about the children, because like,
well, that's
a
the part.
pedophile, that's
But that's
federal,
that's the
gone.
part. That's the part that I think that I don't know if the case gets to that part, or unless the Fed are breaking down his character in order to drop the hammer later.
I can't see how they won't go in there when they found tunnels in his house, and they.
I
Found
just believe
so
because
many
so
things.
many people are involved and they
agree.
have videos.
Oh,
so
I
when you have
totally
video,
agree.
when you have photographic evidence that link a lot of powerful people to one thing, it's like this. I was giving Jay a weird scenario, like at Creative Labs. It's like if I was running some like weird operation out the back, everybody here is going to get indicted. Everybody here is.
100%.
So therefore, why am I the only person in the courtroom right now if I'm Puffy?
Yeah.
And you're talking about a RICO. You're talking about sex trafficking crimes. Why am I the only person sitting here?
And it's a RICO. I would say that part is a little weird.
Right? How you gonna hit me with a RICO and I'm by myself?
Yeah.
Racketeering is operation. So therefore, it's like
Correct.
I agree. But I think they're gonna. That this is my hope. I think that they're gonna do it in sessions, and then they're gonna start hopefully calling in people.
this is
But
what this
it's
is
gonna
what
be
I'm
one of the
thinking.
two. Either he's
He's gonna walk.
He's gonna be
One or
dead.
two. Either that he's either gonna walk, end up gone, or there will be a situation where there is a big revelation that's dropped on us.
Exactly. And
But that
that's what I'm
revelation is
hoping.
going to include a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, we're
And so
talking
therefore, it
about
won't just be him. So it'll be a whole lot of
It's
people
not
getting
only
rounded up.
entertainment. It's like governance.
Oh, it's a
all
whole,
kinds of things.
and that's why I almost think it's too big to fail. It's almost like a bank.
I think in life,
I mean, it's sad, but yeah.
I think in life at times when situations arise, that's not so savory for the public. sometimes there's a fall guy. And I think Mr. Diddy, Mr. Love, is definitely going to be the fall guy in this situation.
100%.
I think he's definitely a flawed man. And I'm not saying any of us is perfect, but he's definitely a flawed individual. I think what this, so far what's come out is that he's definitely an abuser. You know what I'm saying? And like they talked about, different outlets were talking about how the pictures they were showed of Cassie and how beat up she was in some of the pictures. And like, you gotta think like her brother and her husband is sitting there watching all of this, right? They're not showing video, but they're showing stills and pictures of some of the freak off parties of what's going on, right? And that she participated in. And like just some of the things that came out, I think one of the things was that she herself, like one of the what am I thinking? Escorts, male escorts. He testified that I guess Cassie engaged and also suggested for him to do certain acts. You know?
No, tell him what the act is. I think that builds the story.
No, it definitely builds a story for sure.
I'm just saying it builds a story.
Specifically, she requested him to pee on her.
No. Not on her.
Yeah. Well,
where?
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be PG a little bit.
No, in her mouth.
In her mouth, yeah. Definitely in her mouth.
She requested that. Okay. So now we're talking about an individual.
I mean, but you have to know that if you are that jacked up of a man, you are not going to be with a woman that is a saint. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
So you think she's not a saint?
Absolutely not. I'm not saying that
She has immunity for a reason.
there.
That's
think-
definitely true.
I think that not to kind of like give her an excuse for the abuse, absolutely not. But if somebody is doing so many freaky things sexually, you have to have a freaky side.
Well, I will say this because I have to think back on the time frame. I believe when she got with Diddy, she was on the younger side, and I'm not saying she was underage.
She wasn't. She was 22.
She was 22. Well,
Which
still young.
is even worse.
I'm saying it to say you're at an age where you're potentially impressionable.
You're manipulative.
Yeah, I'm
They
saying.
can manipulate you. They can mold you, especially if you haven't had that many sexual partners. Oh my God.
I think
Like, ooh.
I think that in the situation she was in the beginning, from what I don't know the real story, but
Nobody does.
right,
Only
nobody
the two
does.
of them
Only
do.
the two do. But I could
Only
definitely
God.
tell you this is that she was with an individual before
That was worse.
No, I don't know, but I mean I can't speak on Ryan Leslie, but I think Ryan Leslie is from the eye just seems like just a musical genius and a great guy.
Okay.
And they were dating, and he actually produced her first hit, which got her deal.
Yep.
The deal goes through Bad Boy Records. Puffy liked her, so he tried to pursue her, but then in pursuing her, he actually takes her away from Ryan Leslie.
Yep.
And then kicks Ryan Leslie out.
Yep.
And she chose to stay because I think there is a moment in life. Everybody has a choice. She chose to stay with him and not go. Ryan Leslie's no slouch either. I mean, he's he's a guy who
extremely smart.
Well, yeah, I think he graduated from Harvard when he was like 15.
Yep.
And
Wow.
I mean, he's like a musical genius, and then he's also just a real genius.
He's a savant.
Yeah, he's a savant in a lot of ways.
Yep.
And she chose to stay there with him because Puffy had all the money and all that lifestyle and all that.
She's 22. I mean, if you think back at when you were 22.
Yes.
I mean, come on.
But at the same, but we're talking about a guy who's a millionaire as well.
Yeah, but
now we're not talking about like going back to like dating like a normal person. You're still dating like a person where I mean, I'm not saying anything's wrong with normalcy. I'm saying that you're still dealing with a high profile person. You're just dealing with a higher profile
but that's what
person.
I'm saying. You're 22.
Right.
Of course, you're gonna feel like impressed. You're gonna feel like, oh my god, I'm special. He's probably make her feel special. Listen, the thing about abusers and any woman that has gone through any type of abusive relationship knows that they start wonderful, and this is not a change that's overnight. This takes years to build in. They destroy you piece by piece. It's like creating a sculpture on how they destroy every single piece that you have. They take away the people around you. They take away little by little your personality, what you believe in, how pretty they make you feel. Then little by little they make you doubt that you're even that. So I mean I can see where she will like, fall for all of that and started doing all kinds of weird stuff because she was 22. And at 22, you're experimenting all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, well, I would say this. I think she definitely, look, there be balance in the conversation from my head, how I look at things. I think she definitely made choices that weren't great for her.
Of course.
So some of it was definitely her choice of what and I'm not saying she deserves the things that happened to her, she deserved it. By no stretch of the mind am I saying that. But what I'm saying is, like Ash had pointed out before, who she may have been with before, she made a choice to be with who she was then, right? And maybe it was all great, but still, she still made that choice. There's that, but also the fact that, yes, she definitely was, man, dang, I guess she was low-key probably groomed.
That's what I'm getting to. Like,
yeah, she was groomed.
100%.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that she wasn't groomed. I'm not going to get into like that, and I think that
we don't know the details.
No, but that's still a separate crime. I can see where the prosecution is like trying to lead in with character things
100%.
and beat them down, and I get it.
Yep.
Now I'm just waiting for the bomb, the hammer, because the hammer, I'm telling you,
Comes at the end. It usually
it
comes
has
at
to
the
drop.
end.
the hammer
for
has
the Rico to stick.
For a Rico to stick. A hammer has to drop, and it's not going to just be him anymore. Now it's going to be a room full of people because you got too many complicit parties. You have security. You have people who work at the house. You have friends. You have people who were actually in on the freak offs. Can we say this?
Yeah.
And we have a lot of high profile people who were in on the freak offs.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of complicit parties.
Yeah.
If you're talking about law and you're talking about a RICO and you're talking about a case where I'm going to go to jail for life. Okay, well, I didn't do this alone. And then now we're going to start getting the real deal. I think this is what we all been waiting for, is a hammer to drop on somebody, right? Whether it's him, whether it's Epstein, somebody. We're waiting for a hammer to drop, but the hammer never drops. That's all I have to say about it. It never drops. It always goes so far, and then it kind of retracts.
Yeah.
And I think, these people are going to get painted as horrible people. Puffy is done in the public eye, right?
Yeah.
But do I think they have enough to keep him in prison forever? No.
No, yeah. Well, I think we'll have to see how it plays out. I think he's definitely going to fall for it in the sense of, He's gonna take a hit from this no matter what. But he's definitely, I think he's gonna get some jail time for sure. That's what I.
Well, I mean, he's already doing jail time, so a lot of it's gonna be time served.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like, he's already in prison.
I think he's gonna get some additional time. I mean,
I don't know how you're gonna get additional time on a federal charges because if the federal charges don't stick, what else do they have? Now the state has to pick up something.
No, we'll see. Again.
Now he has a high powered legal team. They're gonna beat the state.
Well, I mean, we'll see. It's a 6-week trial. So we'll see.
But I just think they started off very weak. I think they needed to start off with, because I think everybody thought that the Cassie stuff was going to, actually, the Cassie testimony to me starts to show how complicit everything really was.
Well, she was part of it.
She's a part, well, she has immunity.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying.
So she can't,
for the record,
because she would literally, they probably came to her, trust me, she's pregnant right now. She doesn't want to do this. And I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her husband. She's pregnant right now. She's moved on with her life. But she did take a payout from him of $30 million. Grant you. Yep. And then also
was it 30 or 20?
Well, she said she got 20, but it was really agreed upon for 30.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. Now she has, okay, let's just say she has 20 million. We'll go low. $20 million.
Either or.
Right, either or. She has her husband. She has had beautiful children since Puffy. She's probably been going to counseling, trying to heal.
Yeah.
And now she has to go back and relive all this on the stand because it's the only way she doesn't go to jail. Yeah. Because trust me, because at that point she's a participant in the freak-offs of where they're alleging potential child sex trafficking and everything else, right? Yeah. So like, if that's the case, that means she's a participant and was complicit because she was of age.
Yeah.
And a main star of the freak-offs. So at that point, they offer her immunity only if she would testify against him, right?
Yeah, but and so I would say this to paint the picture. Some of the things that was being stated, man, I can't even imagine. She was calling, what am I thinking of? The back pages, the website that people use, like I can't think of it right now, but she was calling
back pages.
Pages. Yeah. But certain.
But there's more. There's more out there. Yeah.
Anyways, she was calling back pages, and she was using her own actual number to call them.
Yeah.
To have people come out. At one point, she was just saying, she would call different people. This is like, back pages in different cities. That's like some regular people. That's not like no like specific special service. That's like regular people coming out type of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Doing all this crazy stuff. And then she said she had so many different UTIs and stuff like that. That the medicine she would get wasn't strong enough to kill all of it off. She had so many. That is intense. Well, that's crazy.
She legitimately
that is craziness.
Became a part of this thing. And look, and it can be because she was groomed. But yet and still, even to get to the part of the grooming, I think there has to be something not right with the individual to even get to the point of being like the very first time. All right, this isn't okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna happen the first time. It's gonna be
well,
little by little.
Okay, well, let's say with a guy like Puffy, like where this is how he parties, and you're thinking like, yo, if I don't get down, he's probably not gonna like date me anymore.
But that's the whole element of grooming.
He's not gonna show you that.
Yeah, I think that's
never show you that.
Yeah.
I think that's the whole element
little
of grooming.
by little.
That's real.
Just little by little.
Yeah, you easing them into it. That's the whole element of grooming. You're easing them into it, and then by the end, you don't even realize.
You don't even know who you are.
Yeah, and you're hooked on something. It's like, what is it, 50 Shades of Grey, but it's like the extreme version of it. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know what you're into by the end of it. And then at that point, it's like Stockholm syndrome. You just think it's all great.
Was there drugs involved?
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, majorly.
And then that's a whole nother thing, right? Because like, how often did she consume, and when did she start it, and was he utilizing that to? But
she also brought up some points where he actually OD'd on opiates. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Like at certain points where they had to take him to the hospital, he would OD. He'd be on too many drugs. They had to take him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like sometimes, some of these people that are groomed, they little by little they start giving them smaller dosages of drugs to the point where like they get hooked, and then you're lost.
Absolutely. I mean, and now that plays into the Fed's charge, but I'm waiting for the hammer. She's not the hammer.
No. She's definitely not.
She's a character person to show what the typical life, the day in a life of with him is like.
Yeah.
Now I want to see the hammer, because the hammer, when that hammer comes, and if the hammer does not come, we already know what's up. We know what's at play. It's too many people who are involved, and they can't be named.
Well, I would say this: they're working up to something, because they started to mention towards the end of how many people they were flying out over state lines, right, and how often they were doing it. And by the definition, right, if you fly someone out to your abode and you pay them for sexual acts, and there's in addition coercion as well as I think that's it. And if that's involved, and you don't even have to coerce them into doing it. If you're paying them for the sexual acts, that's sexual trafficking.
Jay, that is weak with his defense team. I think that would work on a person who doesn't have money.
No. Here's the thing, though. If it's the setup for them to bring in the people that are witnesses who actually experience it.
But now they got to be
that's
like
the
this.
hammer drop.
The hammer drop is going to be like this. Name everybody who was there.
Well, I mean, that's extra. That's like the impact. That's like the shockwave.
No, that's what's going to happen. Because if I'm the defense attorney, I'm playing a defense attorney right now for Sean Diddy Combs.
Hey, look, we said this before.
Yeah, I'm the defense attorney. Call Ashley Booker if you need a defense. All right,
let's go.
No, but seriously, like now, if I'm a defense, I'm like, okay, so was he alone?
But at that point, that don't even matter. It does, but it doesn't.
No, it totally matters.
Improving out him.
We have to prove. Okay, well, who talked to you? Mm-hmm. How did you get on the plane? Mm-hmm. Who booked the flight? Did you talk to him?
But if they can show he orchestrated,
how can you show me I orchestrated?
If they have witnesses.
Who are the witnesses? Because now you have to come and say you're complicit.
Cassie is one.
Cassie isn't one.
Well, she
hasn't said anything.
Well, she's the start, because she did say she flew people out, and she said she was ordered by Puffy to do it.
But that's hearsay. What? Did we have?
I'm not saying it's not.
But do you understand how this is not strong in a court of law?
But if you have enough witnesses, and that's why I said they have to come with more witnesses than her. You got to get some actual escorts. Their first one wasn't good.
He already was. What the guy? He told the truth. Yeah. He said the sex worker that they had on the stand said he didn't say anything about her. He said her. I'm sorry about him. Yeah. He said her.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one.
Talking about her.
Yeah, that wasn't a good one.
So that wasn't a good. That was a horrible person to put on the stand for the prosecution. Then you put her on the stand, and as we're going through it, it's starting to be like, yeah, this sucks, and they have a weird, kinky, horrible like relationship, and it's abusive, and it's drug riddled, and all the horrible things you can have. But is this a part of the RICO or the sex trafficking?
Yeah,
because that's what he's being charged with. Y'all didn't charge him with these crimes y'all talking about, and honestly, the Fed can't. That would have to come from the state.
No, that's true.
So therefore, now it's like, okay, boom. Now the next person. Now, if the next person comes on the stand and it starts to get weaker, because she even says, well, I called. Well, you have immunity. So, yeah, I called. Okay, well, you called.
Yeah, but
Puffy can be like, I didn't tell her to do that. Hey, she's freaky.
Hey,
she's having guys pee in her mouth.
That's a crazy
I'm just saying that's freaky. So it's like, so maybe she liked it. So I'm not saying that she did or didn't.
But if I'm the defense,
if I'm the defense, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
No, I'm hear you,
right.
and I'm with you with that. And if I have to think devil's advocate from the other side, this is the opening act. You never show.
I hope
you
so.
never would. That's
how many shows with what's it called? The Lincoln
lawyer.
Yeah.
Come on, Ash.
I know the hammer is coming, but for me, I believe the hammer is going to hammer Hollywood. I think it's going to hammer. I think so too. I just think it's too big to fail.
I don't think it does.
I hope it does too. It'll change the world.
People are gonna stop.
It'll change the world.
I hope it do, but I don't think people will stop.
It'll change the world.
I think we're at the end of an era. We are at the end of an era, and I think Hollywood's going down. 100%.
Let's go.
It might not be right now, but
it's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. There's too many. This is the third big case that has come out. Yes. It's coming.
Well, I would say this.
It's coming.
This is my frustration, and this is, if everything is true, terrible. The things that came out, extremely terrible.
What do you mean if everything's true? You're giving this
No,
people
no.
the benefit of the doubt?
No, I'm talking about Diddy specifically.
Oh, okay.
Because it's all alleged until it's proven out in court. You know what I'm saying? Technically. But my point is this. I think that the fact that we're not seeing more, because you got to understand, like, if you got a problem with Diddy, then you better have a problem with Hugh Hefner. Because, like, and I'm not saying this.
Thank you.
Like,
That's all I got to say.
He had, like, man, listen, now, who knows? He's dead. He's passed now, but still.
But he got a chance to die.
Man,
Good for him.
He had tunnels. This man had waterways and then a pool. He had
You talk about grooming, getting girls when they're 18,
my gosh.
having them take their clothes off,
Yes.
having them come to some mansion, be his girlfriend,
Yes.
like pretty much have them put in parties as party favors.
Yeah.
100%.
Crazy. And I can only imagine, look, here, it doesn't excuse anything that Diddy allegedly or may have actually done. But the point is what I don't like, if you're going to go out here and start calling people out for what they're doing, call the people out that's been really doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying look, clearly it's come out he's definitely doing some stuff. But they better start calling out some other people because we celebrate Playboy and Hugh Hefner, right?
Jay.
Who's we? Men?
Well, society.
Who's we, man?
Society. No,
Let's be
women too.
specific.
No, women too.
Some women.
No, well, listen.
Some women.
I read it for the articles.
A period of time, it was a pedestal.
For the articles.
It had great articles, great
Great
recipes.
articles. Great.
Yeah, very,
things,
very
yeah.
intellectual.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, but and I'm saying we because the fact that like people look at Hugh Hefner Playboy as like this romanticized lifestyle, but it's literally a freak off that never ended.
I don't understand.
That's all it
yeah,
is.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who looks at it as a what did you say?
Romanticized?
I don't
Well, they done documentaries on it. Like this man had a whole show
Yeah, and it was terrible.
on the lifestyle.
And it was terrible.
Like, just think about that. Now, like, I'm not saying who knows what all went down, but my point is, he was clearly living a lifestyle that was very similar from outwardly, if you compare it to
That's
like
true.
those parties.
100%.
That's true. You have a point.
This is parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that if they really are going to put him in jail forever, a lot of heads got to roll. It just can't be him. I'm not going to sit there and be like, I'm going to jail forever. Man, I'm getting on the stand. I'm like, well, if y'all think I'm alone.
Right.
He said, you don't get on the stand. Hey, I saw,
All of you going
I saw
down.
Bill
with me.
Clinton.
Hey, we all, well, I'm being honest. Like that's the thing is that I'm going to tell you
We're
something.
gonna party at the jail.
I can tell you this. Now this is speculation, and I'm going conspiracy a little bit,
Hey.
because it's speculatory.
They better have someone
Now-
to protect him in the jail.
Well, no, I can tell you this.
Shout out, man, Tory Lanez. For real.
Hey, I can tell you this. If they were going to do that, they would already did it. That's not their plan. They're going to kill him while he's on trial. No,
No, yeah, I don't
That's
think
true.
that. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying if they were going to do it, they would have did it like
Right.
before this even
Before.
got to a trial. He's just going to walk, and I'm going to tell you why.
I don't think he'll work.
Watch
see.
this, though.
He
Watch.
may. He may.
Well, I'm
But
gonna
I don't think-
tell you why. When they even busted him, he got a call. Cause trust me, how did he know to put his name on two different private jets? He put his name down like he was flying out of two different places.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't at home when they raided. When they raided, the boys were there, but a lot of stuff had already been removed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a jet that flew somewhere else, and then they caught him on the ground. He's like, oh my God, what's going on? But the other jet that he had flew somewhere else. What do you think that is? That's called get out of jail. That's called get out of jail and keep my family alive money. Meaning that there's something on those jets that's somewhere they don't know. And he knows the game. He's been playing the game for so long, because I'm not saying the man's a good person. No, he playing the devilish games they play. They're the same. They're all one of the same.
Yeah.
But you can't take me down and then think I learned from you guys on how to really protect yourself.
Right.
Of
And
course. Yeah.
have a natural immunity out here. And that's where I tell people, I'm like, yo, like, yeah, what we're going to see in the trial is, he's okay with being, all right, I'm going to take my lick. I did that.
Yeah.
I did that. Hey, look, I can't go out and propagate vodka no more. I can't throw parties, and the culture's not going to like me.
It's a wrap.
But I'm going to still be wealthy forever,
Yeah.
and I'll just go live somewhere else.
Yeah.
My days out, you know what I mean? I'm in my 50s.
He He went to buy some boring businesses and just ride it out.
He just gonna chill.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, but I think that
That's
me
sad.
personally, well,
Man.
Wait, it's sad for him?
No, it's sad for society. Like, it's just sad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's sad that these people are in bed with everybody and their mother. I'm talking about
Yeah.
way, way, way high up. Like, it's corruption all the way down.
I mean, it comes with money. But let me ask you this to pivot a little bit in the conversation. Because, like, hearing some of the things that took place, it made me think for a little bit, like, bro, like, what would it be being that brother? Because he looked at Diddy a couple times when some of the stuff was coming out, or the actual husband with Cassie, right? Like, and I'm gonna ask you a question. I know I already know the answer. Could you stay with a woman?
It's jacked up.
I'm being real. This is a real life thing.
Go ahead.
It's happening
I'll let you
on
do
TV. Could you stay with the woman? Let's say she told you in general, hey, some things went down, boop to boop. But could you stay with her after you start seeing it all play out in the court and the evidence showing all like the gory details?
Go ahead.
I got a different question for Ashley.
Okay. Well, to my knowledge, everything that he met her by being a personal trainer, so he already knew what was going on to even fall in love with her.
Yeah. Okay.
He knew that was Puffy's girl.
Yep.
He knew he was training her. He was on the premise, so God knows he might even be on some tape. I'm gonna stop. All right. But what I'm trying to say is that either way it goes, is that when it comes down to it, I think he knew what he was getting into. I don't think there was. Well, yeah, I mean, before they even ran, because they had to run off from him.
I'm with you, but I'm asking you though.
You're leaving a predator who is a billionaire.
I'm with you.
You just can't leave.
That's a whole book, bro.
So for him to let them both leave with their lives,
Something went down.
Something went down, and he understands, and they both understand. Oof. So therefore, for them to both, I mean, it's just there are levels in this world where, like, if you're dealing with a person like that, and then you're able to leave off with another guy in your life, in the guy's life, and y'all get to go have a family, something's already been reached.
I hear you, but I'm gonna ask you the question again.
I think he already knew.
No, could you do that?
Well, no. I look. I think personally. I think it goes back to even what Ashley was saying earlier is that when it's a certain kind of girl that even go for the things Puffy even talking about. It's a certain kind of individual. So it's still the same. What I'm saying is that for her to be in the situation she's in, and for me to even be attracted to, I mean, she's an attractive woman, but then once you know really the situation she's in, I'm sorry, that can lose all the attraction. Do you understand what I'm like? I'm good. You know what I mean?
It's a wrap.
Oh, she Puffy girl. Yo, I'm good. I am
wrap.
straight. I don't care. Like under any circumstance, I already understand what's going on. I've already heard because trust me, if I'm in St. Louis, Missouri, I've been in the music business for quite a bit of time, and I've heard rumblings about what was going on. He knew exactly. Because he was too close. He was there. Right. And this is before any cases, before anything. Just being in the music business, we always heard rumblings, right?
Right.
Man.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No, I think
so he knows. I think they're gonna put a big emphasis on poor him, but he chose that life.
No, I don't think it's
poor who?
I don't think it's poor him.
The guy,
I don't think
Alex,
it's poor him.
who's
the husband?
Her husband now. Her current husband, because he has to sit in trial and listen to her recount that. Now, let's not forget, her and Alex also got $20 or $30 million. Yeah. Okay, well, this is a part of the $20 or $30 million. Y'all got to sit in court. And honestly, to be real, what does she give them? She's doing her part, but what does she give them? That's all I got to say.
What does she give who?
What does she give the prosecution? What does she give them? As this person who's supposed to be there to kind of like, what did she really give up? She didn't give up shit. She said I mean, look, and this is sad.
She's pregnant.
But she's pregnant, but she's on the stand, and it sucks. She has to recount these horrible stories.
That's terrible.
I wouldn't want anybody that I care about to ever go through what she's went through. But what I'm saying is that she recounts the stories, and what has it done? It's actually switched the media around. Let's just talk about the media and how powerful the media is. The court of media, public opinion and the power the media actually has over the way everyone thinks is that now we're all talking about he could potentially be innocent. Now, I was saying this before. I just like too many people are involved. I like the fact that he's alive and in order to start trial. I'm like, I just can't really see it. I can't really see him really being found guilty because it's going to be too many heads that roll.
We'll see. We'll definitely see.
We'll see. But I mean, if the heads roll, that'll be, like, to Asher's point, that'll be great. Yeah. Because it would clean the world up.
I think it's coming. I don't know if it's going to be him. I don't know if it's going to happen after the Black House. But something's going to happen.
Something's happening. There's a change.
But I also think it's sad. Like, his kids were in the courtroom.
Wait, how old are the kids?
I mean, they're
young. Still.
They're young.
They're
still.
like
some of them are older for sure.
But they're all over 18.
Yeah, but they're still generally young.
Why are they in the court?
Support.
Yeah. Like they're in the court. His family.
It makes
in the
me
court.
wonder, like, what happened to those kids?
Well, you got to think about it like this.
I'm sorry, if you're jacked
no,
up,
but
what happened to those kids?
No. Stop for a second. Think about the mafia, right? Like, you can be within a corrupt thing and not be exposed to all the aspects of what's going on.
Right,
but I think if you're that jacked up, I think the kids probably sold things.
They may have. I'm not saying they did.
They lived in a house.
Minimum, they had to see things or experience things.
Experience things and understand things.
Not saying they did it. I'm just saying I can see how they may not have got the brunt of it.
True.
Right?
They were probably protected.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
But I think that
there's ways around that.
Yes, but even when you think your kids aren't watching you, they're watching you.
They're always watching you.
Right. So therefore, I think that, like, for us sometimes to be living out our story and our fable of the life story that we're all living, and to think that we're not influencing others is, I mean, I don't really know how you can think. And so I think what happens is in families like that, especially when it's been controlled by money, power, fame, all of these like things, right? And their dad has it all, right? And he's been able to, I mean, it's to the point where even some of his other baby mothers show up. They come in support of him.
Yeah. No, yeah, they were out.
The ones that are alive, obviously Kim Porter's that, she's deceased, but as far as like the ones that are alive, they're coming there to support him.
Yeah. What I mean, that's
I think more money he's paying them.
Well, I'm trying to see, but you see how this game goes, and that's what happens. It could be Stockholm, it could be just monetary. I just seen people,
100%.
I just seen people with just on monetary situations. They'll act like that just for survival, meaning that they're used to a certain lifestyle. They can't even perceive going down, and they're like, if I'm not in his graces, I already understand he'll cut me off.
Correct.
And he does have that kind of money.
Well,
like, I don't care what kind of trouble he's in right now. He's still wealthier than most people in the world.
No, he got money.
Right. Yeah, he still has money. That's why he has a superstar defense. That's why he has everything else.
Yeah.
Look, he's not broke by any means. Right.
He got money. He got perpetual money too.
Right, perpetual money. And so therefore it's like this. He has rights. He has ownerships of things to where the family, if you're the kid, well, you want to be that kid who's like, I'm taking a stance against dad.
Well, and that's
some kids do that.
And that's a thing towards the moms
some
too,
kids
right?
do that.
No, but it takes
Elon's kid,
cojones to do that. It takes cojones to do that.
It takes cojones to do that.
No, I do. Elon's kid did it.
How old is this kid?
21, 22, something like that.
Don't want to deal with him.
Yeah.
I
heard about that.
It's a situation. She transitioned.
Right.
So, and there was I don't think he was too happy about that. So there was a lot of pushback, and she was like, "Bump it! I'm just gonna call you out for all the things that I've seen." To a certain degree, I'm not saying she did like a telltale, but pushing back.
The thing, but that's like the exception to the rule.
Yeah, I'm not characterizing that's the norm. So like, I'm not trying to. And before, I'm not saying that these kids are not affected, but I was going to say like, look, they're definitely affected by virtue of being in the vicinity of what's going on. But there's ways to not literally have them be involved in the things, and they may have. Who knows? I hope not.
Terrible.
I pray not. I seriously pray not.
No, I don't. Look, I would pray not, but I would think not.
Yeah.
I think because that would be the hammer. If you needed a hammer, that would be the hammer.
That's a terrible hammer.
They're not involved. So it's
Hopefully
like
not.
I think Puffy is it.
Yeah,
Puffy's also just like how if we were talking about grooming, I'm not trying to build a defense for the man, but I'm saying
nah, you his lawyer, bro. You his lawyer.
Is that is that I will say this is that even in the business he was groomed. You know what I mean? He's learned from people who were before him.
Yeah. Definitely.
And so like
It's a system.
it's a system.
Yeah,
Correct. And that's why I say
Programming.
with the system or anything where we talk about racketeering, any type of operation, you're not alone. That's all I got to say. So therefore, you can't be the only person facing any kind of charges. No.
Yeah.
100%.
Or there's not going to be a racketeering charge, or there's not going to be the things that are trying to actually put on him, and it's going to get wiped out.
Yeah. No, it's a crazy thing. I guess we'll have
Because
to
both
see.
sex trafficking and racketeering, you need just parts.
Yeah. No, you definitely need parts.
You're not one person doing it yourself.
Well,
Yeah.
I hope it comes down, but like you said, who knows?
Who
what's
knows?
gonna
I think at this point they're just trying. The way it looks like right now, they're just destroying his character, and then now the media is actually turning on the positive side towards him,
I mean,
which
but
is
whoever
always a
is
bad
listening to the
indicator.
media, come on.
Well, most people do, and that's why if he's
People
found,
don't.
well, no, what they do is they prep you.
Defense,
they prep you.
defense,
No, they
defense.
prep
You're
you.
not going to show the video.
No,
of
I'm gonna
me.
tell you why they prep you. They prep you for the not guilty verdict. So they're prepping people now. Well, really, yeah. Well, Mr. Combs has had weird sexual fetishes, and it seemed like there was all like partners who were consenting, and they were just on some weirdo stuff.
Right.
And so at that point,
Yeah.
I mean, is he a racketeering guy? Is he a sexual trafficker? No.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a weirdo, but can we actually say that? Should he actually spend the rest of his life in jail?
Yeah.
Let me ask this though, and
Well, in theory, yes. Yes.
in
In theory,
an island
yes.
by
Yes.
himself.
Yeah, in theory, yes. But I'm saying we're just in the court of law.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. In theory, yes.
Yeah. So another topic, shift gears a little bit. So Tory Lanez, and this is terrible. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. He was stabbed like 14 times in jail. And if you don't know, Tory Lanez is a rapper, singer, artist, and he was involved in a crime where Megan Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. And from that, she obviously, she accused him of it. Charges were filed. He went to court. He was found guilty. Then he was sent off to jail. He's not there. He's not in there for the rest of his life, but he's sent off to jail. And I guess from his lawyers, he's had no incidents up until this week, couple days ago, a couple days after they had a witness come forward and they informed Megan Thee Stallion's team. This is what his lawyer's saying. A couple days after that, he gets stabbed like 14 times in the jail. And I think he got stabbed 4 times in the back of the head, or 2 to 4 times in the back of the head, a couple times in the chest. It's just horrific. I wouldn't wish that obviously on anyone. And I think even if you can, from the human element, I think that's a tragedy regardless, right? That's just terrible. But with that being stated, his lawyers took an opportunity, and I'm not saying they did purely just leverage, but they took the opportunity to state that the witness that was coming forward was the bodyguard of Megan Thee Stallion's friend, Kelsey, if I'm not mistaken, stated that he came forward and said, hey, look, I heard through a conversation where she told me that she was the one that had the gun and shot him a couple of times, or shot the gun a couple of times, and then specifically, he knocked it away. Not him, but the artist, who I think of, Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez knocked it away, and then after that, it fell on the ground and shot and went off like 2 more times or something like that. And from that, as they're doing this press conference, saying all of that, they're saying they also attached and said, it's not a coincidence. They don't think it's a coincidence that after this witness came forward and he said all these things and they sent it over to her lawyer team, her team, that all of a sudden he gets stabbed. And then he gets flown out to a hospital. His lungs collapsed. He was in critical condition. I believe he's projected to recover, and he's stable now, which I think that's great. Anybody can go down a situation and do something. And I'm not saying he was proven guilty, but he may not be guilty now. Some of the things coming to light. But anyone can go down a situation where they do something they're not supposed to do and then grow from that. But man, no one deserved to be stabbed 14 times. That's just, whew. I mean, it happens in jail, but still, that's intense. But it makes you see, like, now it's coming out to say, like, the case itself was riddled with a whole bunch of things that was jacked up. The gun itself was inclusive of DNA. They did not test anybody else's DNA except for his. In addition to that, the trajectory of the gun itself, of how where the bullets came from and the trajectory of the bullets where were shot from, they didn't do a test for that. There was like a bunch of things that's coming out. People, they're doing different posts, lawyers and stuff like that, and people in law school doing different posts where they're saying there's a bunch of things that went wrong with this case. That now with this new information shows that maybe, in fact, he didn't do it. So that's a long intro. What do we think of that?
I'll let you go first.
I think this whole case has always been weird. Mm-hmm. It never really sat right with me. So, like, from the things I've heard, mm-hmm. and I don't know, it makes sense now. I think now, I guess to kind of go back to, I think we are in an age of revelation, and we're getting real truths. I think that he was done wrong. Now, it was weird though, because he never, I mean, and I get the whole, like, yo, I'm a real one, I'm not gonna snitch and all that. Man. But dude, you're at the height of your musical career and you're telling me you're gonna go sit down for 10 years, like, for something you didn't do? Like, nah, like, that's not happening. And I think that with this, hopefully the truth does come to the light. And hopefully the people who did put him in that position, they actually get the punishment they deserve. I think they all need to go to jail. I think they all go to prison. Yeah,
I would say this. Now,
perjury should get you in prison, and all the other charges I think they can be hit with, but I don't really know what kind of time they can get at this point.
I would say this. Kelsey, who allegedly now is the person that
the shooter.
Yeah, the shooter, the alleged shooter, that her bodyguard mentioned that she told him that. She got immunity before she even testified.
Okay, well then she's good. So she's not going.
No, she's not going.
Now Meg.
Yeah. So I mean,
somebody needs to go to prison.
Why this whole thing went down?
If it's true, it's jacked up.
What's behind the whole thing?
All right.
What's truly behind the whole thing?
Do you want to go here?
No,
let's go here. All right.
Okay,
look, we here.
There's two things that make no sense. Okay, so I don't follow a lot of music in English. So and I don't follow the news because they're depressing.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of getting the points here. But, like, for real, like, okay, you shot somebody in the foot. Why? Why this whole thing comes out? And why you want this person to go to jail? And how did you get stabbed 14 times and not dead? Like, somebody getting fired.
Someone getting fired? Wait,
the killer for sure.
That's a crazy take.
But that's the truth, though.
But that's the truth. Like, what was the point of stabbing a person 14 times? Either
he probably
it was definitely not to kill him.
You're gonna be like, man, you were terrible.
Honey, you need like maybe
terrible
one,
hitman.
maybe 1 or 2 to kill somebody. Like you don't need 14. So what's the point of why 14?
Why he got stabbed 14 times? I can't say.
And that's just so many questions. Like what's behind the whole thing?
But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't pay someone to stab me 14 times.
But that's the point.
No,
like,
I don't think dude did. Nah.
Yeah. No, but some people were thinking that. Some people were
I don't think he paid anybody, but I think like whoever paid somebody to do that, obviously they didn't want to kill him, but they sure wanted him to be scared for life.
Example set.
And traumatized for the rest of his life. So what's behind the whole thing?
Well, the lawyers made the connection. They said for a couple days after they sent it over to Meg Thee Stallion's team, this is what the lawyers are saying, the stabbing happened. And before then, he had no incidents.
This is what is a correlation.
They're drawing. Yeah, they're drawing.
It.
Yeah, they're drawing. They're trying to draw a connection. They're saying like, look, it's hard for us not to draw a connection. So
right, totally.
Yep.
And 14 times. Like,
I mean, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Ash was like, yeah.
I mean, it's this whole thing. I remember when he did get prosecuted.
Yeah.
His dad went out and was talking about like how Rock Nation was behind it. Like they did. They said that. I mean, this is not like I'm not being ridiculous here. This is like things you guys can look up. But the thing is that Rock Nation was behind the whole conviction and all that because they took over her management. And when they took over her management, I don't know what this thing was about Tory Lanez, but I think some people say that it had something to do with the fact that during the time of the pandemic, people were doing NFTs and different things of that nature.
Yeah, he did a couple things.
He found a lot of cool ways to make a lot of great money, actually, not cool money, great money, without the help of the actual record industry system.
He sold the album as an NFT.
Correct. And he made a lot of money and he had a hell of a presence during that era, kind of showing that you don't need record labels in general to generate profit. Okay. And I think that was something that.
So that's a message.
And I think him going to prison was the message.
Sad.
Yeah. But then I think that because it was just the whole scenario to me, if we want to go down that rabbit hole.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. If we go down a rabbit hole, like they're leaving like one of the like Kylie Jenner's house. They were all over there swimming.
Yep.
And then they leave there, and then this weird incident happens.
Like the whole thing makes no sense.
The whole thing makes no sense. Meg says she don't know if she stepped on glass or got shot. It's so weird. And she's back touring a little bit later. Like it's just the weirdest stuff ever, right? So it was always very ambiguous until the trial came up when he got hit with charges.
Yeah, and I will say this: her friend on the stand, her story changed a whole bunch. This is stuff is documented. It's not like I'm trying.
No,
to pull.
these are things.
It is what it
but
is.
he still got.
But he still got
found guilty. Like it was almost
they're
crazy.
Definitely sending a message. I mean, just I don't know anything about the case, and you told me he got hit 14 times. Obviously, something's going on.
Man, I'm just saying, it's a lot going on.
Terrible.
And because I will say this. I'm gonna just thread the needle. It's a lot going on. Then fast forward, or not fast forward, during this time, DDG, if you don't know, he's a streamer. He started in YouTube. He was a YouTuber. But then he got into music, or was doing music. His music got popular. And then now he's been pushing more into streaming from YouTube, specifically. And he's blown up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was already bigger in terms of being known as a celebrity in terms social media wise, from the platforms, but he's become more of a streamer focus. So he was talking to Haley. Haley is one of the two twins that Beyonce signed, that was under her. And she has her own music career and all those things. They were together for I think 2 years, had a kid, broke it off. Who knows why, but they broke it off. And fast forward, they're co-parenting with the kid, and all this stuff is happening in the same week, by the way. And so then the news drops this week that she put in a restraining order because, and this would confuse me about the situation. If it's true, terrible, but parts of it confused me because apparently she was picking up her kid, and I guess he was dropping it off. And she was grabbing her kid out of the car. I believe his name is Halo, if I'm not mistaken. Grabbing him out of the car. And she was saying that she got in an argument with him, and he was mad about something, whatever the case may be. And at some point, because he was mad, he told her, like, look, you can just leave my kid in the car. He used some cuss words. I'm just not going to go down that path. And she decided to continue to try to get the kid out the car. And then she claims that he took her head and beat her head against the steering wheel and chipped her teeth. And she got bruised up. But the confusing thing for me is like,
why the steering wheel?
Like, if I'm in a car and you're picking up my kid, I'm in the car, I'm in the driver's seat, and you're picking up my kid from the back seat because you can't pick him up from the back
Right.
seat.
I know exactly where you're going.
How could you get from the back seat to the front seat with your head getting bashed on the steering wheel? Right? Like, that's the part that confused me a little bit. Not saying that could not be true, because she did provide pictures with a chipped tooth as well as bruises. And I'm not saying that hasn't been, I'm not going to say fabricated. That hasn't been done before in the past and it wasn't true. That's happened before. But for me, I'm trying to figure out the jump. Like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? Because for me, I can't picture it. Now, if it is true, that's terrible. That's definitely terrible. But I'm trying to picture, like, how do you grab a kid from the back seat and then tussle with the baby, the father of your baby, and then your head gets pushed against the steering wheel in the front seat?
The only thing I can think of is the kid had to be sitting right behind him, and she's getting it from the other side. You see what I mean? She's getting it from the passenger side. Does that make sense?
But
In the
even
bottom.
still,
So your whole body, at that point, your whole body, to get a kid out of the car seat, your whole body's inside the car. Now, if you turn around and you grab somebody and pull it to the front, that's the only thing I can think of.
but think about that. You're pulling
you
them
could do
from
it.
the back seat to the full front and beating their head against the steering wheel, the chipped.
It could happen.
I don't know. Like, there's some small cars out there where you can pull someone from the back seat, but to beat their head against the steering wheel, I don't know.
It could happen. It depends on a lot of things. But, like, I'm just saying, because of, like, you have to think, I think about it from the woman's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
The force that men have by nature, it's a lot.
No, I don't disagree with that.
So when you are angry and you are a male and you're grabbing a female like that, I can see that happening.
Yeah, it's hard for me to picture
Because
that.
it's like moving a child. For a man, it's like moving a child. If this man is, but I don't know, 180 pounds, and she's like 130.
Well, I wouldn't say it's like moving a child.
It will be, if you're angry, it will.
No,
it
I
will
wouldn't say
feel-
like look. Women are coming. People come in different sizes.
Yeah.
That's all I would say. So I wouldn't say it's equivalent to a child. I think some situations, depending on who the gentleman is and who the woman is, it may be that way because of the weight difference is so drastic. But like, she's not.
Not only that, the anger, the force that you get when you are angry.
It's
There's
different.
Adrenaline?
levels,
You
there's
talking about the
levels
adrenaline?
to it.
Yeah, it's
But with
different.
it, you're stronger.
Adrenaline?
You're
No,
stronger.
adrenaline. Yeah, I'm with you.
You get strong.
Yeah. So okay, we'll take that into.
I can see that happen. I mean, if it's true or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's true, it's horrible what happened to her, and that the kid saw that.
Well, it doesn't stop there. So she gets a restraining order. And then from there, after that, she gets this restraining order and filed all this stuff for the lawyers. She gets sole custody into the next the next court date. But like, there's a bunch of things that happen off of this. How much of this is true, I don't know. But some of his friends who stream as well, DDG, one of them says he received a couple of bottles to his door, presents with some notes, weird notes, and he felt like it came from Rock Nation. Now, I'm not just making stuff up. This is stuff that's going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
What?
Because keep in mind, Haley she was found by Beyonce, I believe.
She's part of Rogue Nation.
Part of Rock Nation, all of that. So like now there's this thing. Now it's conspiracy, but it's a thing of Rock Nation is now making some moves to try to get Haley full custody of her kid, right? And I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is true, but I am bringing to the surface what's happening out there.
Right, the
and what
rumors.
People, yeah,
The
and it's not even like it's things that's playing out. I was just like, it's video. You can go out on social media and see like there's one of his friends who's a streamer. He was literally talking about all this. Now I hope he's not doing it just for views. I would hope not. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to, hey, I just got this bottle. Then he shows someone delivering another bottle. Now I hope it's not just for views and all that. And then they show like he was on, I guess, a stream with another streamer, Aiden Ross, and when he found out the news, because she just did it very quickly, and you could tell like it was like if you saw the video, the reaction was kind of like for him like, whoa, what? And then afterwards, I guess he jumped on another stream, and then he was just, you see someone who's just like flabbergasted by the whole situation. Doesn't mean he's innocent, but it does mean like you can tell he's like internally going through with the situation, trying to make sense of it. So I'm just like, man, like, and then there's other stuff that like other streamers is like, one other streamer said, who does a lot of reaction videos and stuff like that, two brothers. He was like, yeah, I can't speak on the situation. I don't know all the details, but I can say like, I do know some things. And that just threw me. And it was like, he said, I think the statement that this gentleman made was like, I think that both sides should, no one deserves that from either side. That's the statement he made.
Wow.
And I'm just like, dang. So like, I'm saying this to say like, it's a lot of stuff going on this week. And Rock Nation has came up multiple times in different scenarios. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, what
Going
is going
down.
on?
Well, I'm like, because if Puffy goes down, trust me,
Oh yeah,
they're in that.
they're right there.
They're right there.
Man,
That's
They're
why
right
Puffy's sitting there like this.
man,
He
They're
in
right
court like
there.
this.
man.
The fact they let him get to a trial, man, that means he's finna walk, man.
We'll
Or
see.
all of these people are about to go down.
We'll see. I mean, it's we'll see.
Because then everybody's complicit. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's law.
I hear
He may not get the same time as me,
Mm-hmm.
but you're going to prison too.
Yeah.
Is that...
And expose.
We'll see.
I think the biggest thing is like exposing people put artists in this category of like almost God. And they go crazy about it. They just like, they even defend them and like they actually know these people. It's the same thing with politicians, right? Like they defend these people and like you don't know none of these people. You don't know what they're into. You don't know what they do. You don't know.
definitely don't.
You don't know what they did together. I'm not saying that everybody did something, but I can 100% say it that I will be surprised if you get to that level of fame and you don't have your hands dirty. I will be surprised.
Especially when you're... I will say this. Especially when you're included... I'm sorry. Especially when you're included in those type of things. If I'm at a party... I'm in certain situations and we're at high ranking level things where these things are going on. For me to act like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about it. I mean,
Right. No,
Yeah.
but I think it's just that at the end of the day, I think it's just a big lesson. Like people need to stop like doing this, idolizing like these people and thinking like they're the best and oh my God, I want to be like them. And no, you don't.
well, that's by design.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
That's the system. That's the
100%,
that's
is-
the.
I don't
that's
think
the
that goes
machine.
away. I think that's it. Unfortunately, it is.
Well,
what
it's
it is.
because what it does is this. It shows. I mean, they try to show it in like film. They try to show it in different things. Like, hey, there's always a dark side to everything. Like, the grass is always greener. I think we always say these type of things, to make ourselves feel like.
Disney Club.
Well, it's just true. It's just some of these quotes are so true. Like they're simple as hell, but it's like they're so true. Like it's like you get into these. Okay, you wish you want to be like the I guess you want to be Justin Bieber, right? Until you're Justin Bieber, and then you got to go through everything Justin Bieber. You're like,
Man.
I'm kind of cool just sitting in my parents' house, like playing
Right.
video games. I'm like,
And they throwing wild
Yeah.
accusations about that man.
well, they saying he broke,
Woo.
but we'll talk about that. Yeah,
They say that he's what?
broke.
He
Like
got
he
well,
had
he
no
got
money?
he got that clothing line coming out.
Yeah, but I heard he's scrambling though. I heard he's broke.
Think so?
This is the stories. I don't know for a fact.
Dang.
I know that he's looking rough because, like, listen, I don't follow none of this stuff, but I saw some pictures of him in Coachella or like some of like videos. He looked like a zombie. Like it's bad. He looks bad.
I was saying I was mentioning something earlier
It
to
looks
somebody.
terrible.
I was like saying that
I feel
like,
bad for him.
well, I was saying this. I'm like, well, but then again, I don't know what it's like to be him. But
Oh yeah.
for me, I was like, just announce you're going back on tour, make the money.
I don't know if he broke though. He got a whole clothing line coming out.
I heard the clothing line is in a pivotal position, and he's broke.
That's
Dang.
And he owes Scooter Braun, I think, like $9 or $10 million.
Sheesh. I hope that's not true.
No, that's TMZ. I mean, I don't know.
Nah, shit. I
That's
hope that's true.
sad. That's sad because that kid was like,
That's right after Bruno Mars.
They said that
Vegas.
what they're putting they're putting it out there on him, so it's kind of weird because it's like they said that he, I guess, at the time when they were buying, the publishing, he goes to Scooter and him and he's like, "Hey, this new business manager says I need to sell it now. I need to sell it now." And Scooter's like, "Why don't you just wait until the start of the next year and you'll get a bigger tax break?" And he's like, "No, fuck that. We got to sell it now. I need the money." It was in December. All he had to do was wait until December to January to get the tax break that Scooter was talking about. So that already shows you. And these are stories that are leaking. This isn't just me talking. This is like stories that are leaking. Like this is like out everywhere. And it's like dude's in some financial trouble, like big time. And they say it's like really bad right now.
Well, he got his wife.
so what do you think? Like, just think about this for it was true.
I'm being for real. Like.
But I don't. Yeah, well, yeah, that's fine. We'll get there. But what do you think? Honestly, like I always picture, like, what do you think it will happen? Like if all of this goes down, Hollywood, everything. Like, what would the music industry or entertainment industry would look like?
Well, I think it would be empty, but I think it would be
Empty.
I think it'd be rebuilt. You know what I mean? Of course, but
That's
I think
sad how
that
you put that empty. I think it would be great. But go ahead.
well, no, I think it would be great because the people we're talking about are people who we're not talking about the artists that are in studios right now working on music. We're not talking about them.
No,
We're talking about the people who are like really pulling the strings, right?
Yeah.
All right, so it would be empty. Like they all got to go away,
Right.
and then when they all go away, there needs to be a restructuring. I think things need to be kind of blown up to be rebuilt. I'm a big believer of that.
Me too.
So, like if it has to happen, it has to happen. But I don't think it really affects, I guess, those that are like pursuing music, love music, and are kind of coming up the ladder. I don't think it really affects you.
Let me say this, and this is a hard shift. Final thoughts.
I think we're gonna get back to music, the joy of doing music, and the going back to like really doing music for meaningful things. I hope that we get back to that, not just to talk about how I'm going to lick you and do this and that. Like, come on, people. So we just talk about that in the bedroom.
Meaningful. Okay.
Yeah, let's meaningful. Like, I'm hoping that we get back to that.
Okay. Ash?
I would just say that, I agree. I think music is going to always be here. It's here to stay. I think that's why they fight over it so much. It's that's why we sign contracts that are perpetual for all known universes, because music, as long as just humanity, will always exist. It will always be here and always be impactful to people's lives. The people who are controlling it, yes, that might need to be kind of restructured and reordered. And hopefully in the reordering of that we kind of get back to, the true artistry and allowing artists to be artists. And I'm big on not like censoring people. They can do whatever they want to do. But the thing is I hate the one way type thing and being forced. I know.
Yeah. I'm with you. I would say this, man. Like, look, be careful what you do outside, because it may come back and haunt you. And I guess, make sure you got tapes. But more than that, I do hope.
Shout out to Puff.
I do hope where we're going with everything, technology and everything, that we open up multiple paths for how you can be successful in this music industry. Because right now, it feels like there's only a few amount of doors you can open up to get in. So I'm hoping it breaks open wide and people are able to do more, because I think that's more success, more opportunity for everyone. So all for that. And I will finish by saying appreciate y'all for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. We out.
Have a good one. And don't hire the guy that
Who's that?
that stopped.